Guys, we're back. You know who's quietly winning right now? It's the people who didn't rush to move out. These are the ones, right? Being smart, stacking cash, staying out of debt. And for that reason, they're the ones living way more comfortably than most people grinding paycheck to paycheck in their own houses, right? Because I got a friend, an Indian guy, right? And he lives with his mum, dad, sister, brothers, and his uncle. And straight up, he told me it's normal for them. His parents taught them from young, stick together. Like, in their house, they're all sharing bills while stacking up moolah. Every single one, like I say, sharing bills, all of them stacking the moolah at the same time. Like, he's debt-free, he's saving cash, and he's way less stressed than half the people adulting out here. At first, I thought it's just a cultural thing. But then I realized it's not even about culture. It's actually about discipline. It's about family. And it's about financial sense. That's why they do it. Because like I say, it makes sense. Because while most people are drowning under rent, car payments, and credit cards, these guys are building options. And the thing is, when they decide to move out, which he does plan to move out, right? He does plan to do. They move out from a position of power, not desperation. Because I feel like we live in a culture that glorifies independence. Move out at 18. Get your own place. Be self-made. But the truth is, being independent when you're broke isn't independence. It's literally just expensive struggle disguised as adulthood. Like that's how mad it is. And we actually normalize this. Meanwhile, my friends living at home, they're not struggling. They're strategizing. And don't get me wrong, actually, not everyone living at home is strategizing, right? A lot are wasting time. Like I say, they're the ones living above their means and they're not taking advantage of it. But the ones that are smart, they split bills with their family. They live below their means. They're stacking savings, while majority of people are flexing lifestyles they can barely afford. You see it all over the place, right? So yes, maybe staying at home a little longer, it isn't holding you back. This is why I try and tell people about not rushing out of their parents' house, right? Because maybe it isn't holding you back. Maybe start thinking of it as it's setting you up to get you a step ahead. Because let's break it down. If we break it down, right, an average house, average house now costs what? £900 to £1,200 a month. And then if you add bills, food, car, gym, subscriptions, now you're easily spending £2,000 to £2,500 monthly just to exist. Now imagine living at home, helping your parents with say £300 to £400 a month. And also you may be contributing to groceries and still being able to save £1,000 every single month. That's £12,000, right, a year in liquid cash. Not counting the stress you're avoiding. That just, right, and that's just over 1 year. Now imagine doing that over 3, 5, or even 10 years. And then if you're smart about it, do you know what you could do with that money? Say you invest it, right? Or you could start a side hustle, or buying a property, like I say, before most people can even get approved for a loan. You could buy a property and rent it out while you're at your parents' house. But here's the thing, a lot of people, they can't handle that idea, because straight up, if we're honest with ourselves, ego gets in the way. We think moving out means we've made it, that we're grown, independent and free. But real freedom, it isn't about paying rent. Like, who's in a rush to go pay rent? Don't get me wrong, I know some people have to. They need to get out because family and so on. But it's about, like I say, it's about not needing to. There's nothing weak about living at home and building your foundation. What's weak is letting other people's opinions push you into debt. That's the truth. Is a lot of people would rather look independent than be financially independent. And that's the trap. So let's give credit where it's due. And this is why I say many Indian families and other cultures like them value community wealth over individual pride. Like I said, they think long term. It's not my money versus your money. It's our progress. That's how he's saying they think. All right? It's like you see 3 generations under one roof, grandparents, parents, kids, all contributing and saving and investing together. Western and if you said that to your people, right, the Western culture, they call it crowded. But in reality, it's efficient. That's how they afford to send their kids to university debt free. That's how they build family businesses. That's how they buy homes in cash. Meanwhile, like I say, a lot of people move out early and they spend years trying to climb back to zero. Okay, never mind to get ahead. So the truth is, guys, it's not 1995 anymore. Rent, food, gas, everything skyrocketed. Doing everything on your own used to be admirable. It did. That's what people used to be quick to say, yeah, I've got this myself, I've got that myself, I'm out of the house, blah, blah, blah. This. Now it's become nearly impossible. People working full time still can't save. Interest rates are up. Wages are stagnant. So when I see people still living with family, I don't see immaturity. I see adaptation. They're planning, the thing is, they're planning the long game in a world that rewards patience less and less. Like I like this analogy as well, all right? Let's bring it back to fitness. You wouldn't start your gym journey trying to squat 200 kg on day one. What do? You start light, you build strength, and you earn weight. Financially, it's the same. Living at home is like training with a spotter. You're still doing the work. You're saving, budgeting, learning, but you've got safety support until you're strong enough to lift on your own. And that's the thing. Too many people rush the process. They want to live alone before they've built the financial muscle to handle it. And just like in the gym, rushing form, it leads to injury. In life, that injury is called debt. Jeez. I went on that one. Oh, okay. Now that one was wild. I like that one. But honestly, in life, like I say, that injury, it's called debt. But on a real, when you live at home, right? When you live at home with intention, not laziness, you learn real responsibility. You learn to contribute, to budget, to communicate, to plan. And the thing is, I feel like you get time to invest in yourself while building skills. You can, like I say, stack money, pay off debt, and you can take calculated risks. And then when you do finally move out, it's not just a change of address. It's a level up. That's why we're here. Like I say, it's a level up. You move out with foundation, not just a financial burden. And that's what people miss, right? It's not about comfort. It's about strategy. It's about being smart. Now, the thing is, I'm not saying you have to live with parents, right, forever. That's not what I'm preaching. Like I say, there's value in independence, privacy, and personal space, of course. But if you're struggling to look grown, you're playing the wrong game, bro. You're playing the wrong game, especially, like I say, when you can actually go back to your parents' house. You can, like I say, you can build independence inside the home by being responsible, paying your share, and having a plan to eventually move out on a solid footing. Because, like I said, when you leave too early, you spend years paying for that decision. You see it, like I say, we see it so many times. Look at certain family, look at certain friends. But when you leave out at the right time, you never have to go back. And that's what you call real progress. So I think what we need to do is we need to redefine what winning actually means. It's not about moving out at 18. It's about moving out when we're ready, straight up. It's about building financial strength before freedom, not the other way around. Like and how I see it is, if your friends are still living with family and stacking cash, respect them straight up. They're not behind, they're ahead. If they're taking advantage of it, that is. Like I said, I know we're not all doing that, but that's what we need to be doing. But they're doing what most people won't. Living below the means, staying out of bad debt, and preparing for the kind of freedom that you can't fake. So, straight up, if you're in that situation, don't feel ashamed. Feel strategic. Because when you build smart now, you'll be the one living comfortably later. I promise you now. Do you know how good you'll feel of, like I say, making that decision and just getting a step ahead while you're at your parents' house? But just remember, like I say, the goal isn't to impress people. It's to build options. And people who understand that are the ones that are quietly leveling up while everyone else is showing off. So take note, guys. Anyway, we out. Peace.